When Eleanor Whitman's husband, Richard, died of a heart attack after 43 years of marriage, her world shattered. She had been the quiet heart of the family, the wife who cooked, cleaned, and raised their daughter Caroline, while Richard managed every cent. Caroline had always been his little princess. When she married Ethan Grant, a charming investment banker, Richard showered them with money and praise. Eleanor stayed silent, invisible, but loyal. After the funeral, Caroline arrived in designer black, voice dripping with pity. "Mom, you can't live in this big house alone. You need somewhere safe and peaceful." Behind the sweet tone, Eleanor sensed calculation. Within weeks, Caroline and Ethan pushed glossy brochures for retirement communities toward her. They called it freedom. It was eviction disguised as love. Then, one Tuesday morning, they appeared with suitcases. "Mom, we've decided. Ethan's new promotion means we'll move in here. This house is perfect for us." Eleanor blinked. "Move in? But this is my home." Caroline's expression hardened. "Actually, Mom, according to Dad's will, I inherited everything. You've been staying here out of kindness, but it's time for you to move out." The words sliced through the air. "There must be a mistake," Eleanor whispered. "No mistake," Caroline replied coolly. "Dad knew I'd handle the money better. You were just the wife." Just the wife. 43 years reduced to 3 cruel words. Then came the final stab. "Find somewhere else to die, Mom. You're useless now." Hours later, Eleanor sat alone in a $49 motel, staring at 2 suitcases and a box of photos her entire life. But grief turned into suspicion. Richard had been too meticulous. He would never leave her with nothing. The next morning, Eleanor visited Gregory Lawrence, Richard's longtime attorney. "Eleanor, I've been calling for weeks. Caroline told me you were traveling." "Traveling?" Eleanor frowned. "Gregory, I need to see my husband's will." Gregory opened a folder and read aloud. "I, Richard Whitman, bequeath to my wife, Eleanor Grace Whitman, our home at 824 Maplewood Drive, and 75% of all assets, approximately $40 million. To my daughter, Caroline Whitman Grant, I leave $10 million, held in trust contingent upon her treatment of her mother after my death." Eleanor stared in disbelief. $40 million and the house, everything. Gregory's eyes softened. "Your husband anticipated this. Since Caroline threw you out, she's forfeited her share. That makes you the sole heir, $50 million. Eleanor almost laughed. Her greed just cost her $10 million. The tables turned. "Now what?" she asked. "Now," Gregory said calmly, "we call the police." Detective Isabel Ramirez examined the forgeries Caroline used. "Professional work," she said. "Likely Ethan helped." Within hours, all accounts were frozen. At 3:47 p.m., Caroline called in panic. "Mom, the bank froze everything." Eleanor replied evenly. "Hello, Caroline. I'm at Gregory's office, the man who read your father's real will to an empty room while you told him I was traveling." Silence. "Mom, you're confused." "No, dear. You forged documents and threw your mother out of her own house." That night, police arrested Caroline and Ethan at an upscale restaurant. Eleanor returned home, her home, and for the first time, slept peacefully under her own roof. 3 days later, Caroline showed up, pale and desperate. "Mom, please, I made a mistake." "You told me to find somewhere to die," Eleanor said coldly. "I found somewhere to live instead. I'm still your daughter." "Daughters don't steal from their mothers." Eleanor took out her phone. "Your father left a message for you." Richard's voice filled the air. "If you're hearing this, Caroline, it means my fears were right. Your mother sacrificed everything for this family. If you've dishonored that, you've lost everything." Caroline sobbed. "He hated me." "No," Eleanor said softly. "He loved you enough to hope you'd be better." A week later, Margaret Grant, Ethan's mother, arrived elegant, perfumed, and cold. "Mrs. Whitman, prosecuting my son helps no one. Let's settle quietly. $2 million fair enough?" Eleanor smiled thinly. $2 million for stealing 50? No. Margaret's tone sharpened. $5 million then, but be careful we know about Richard's business dealings. It would be unfortunate if that reached the press. When she left, Eleanor sat frozen. Now she understood Margaret's confidence. They knew something. They were ready to use Richard's past to destroy her. That night, Eleanor dug through Richard's old files. The truth hit her like lightning shell companies, hidden transfers, offshore accounts. Her husband had been involved in money laundering. Gregory confirmed her worst fear. It's true, if the FBI investigates, they could seize everything. Eleanor exhaled slowly. Then I'll go to them first. 3 days later, Agent Sarah Martinez from the FBI met Eleanor in a quiet office. Your daughter believes she can trade your husband's crimes for immunity, Martinez said. She called me, Eleanor replied. Offered me $5 million and the house to stay silent. Would you be willing to wear a wire? Yes. That evening, Caroline and Ethan arrived, pretending everything was fine. Mom, we just want to end this mess, Caroline said softly. You'll keep the house and $5 million. It's fair. Eleanor smiled faintly. Fair? Like forging wills and stealing from your mother? Ethan snapped. You don't understand how dangerous this is, your husband. Eleanor cut him off. Agent Martinez finds your story fascinating. Their faces went pale. The front door opened. 2 FBI agents entered. Caroline Whitman Grant, Ethan Grant, you are under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, and attempted extortion of a federal witness. Caroline's voice cracked. Mom, how could you do this to your family? Eleanor's eyes glistened, but her tone was steel. The same way you did it to me, except my way is legal. As they were let out, Ethan muttered, You don't know what you've done. Richard worked with dangerous people. Agent Martinez replied dryly, And now you're threatening a federal witness. Good, that's another charge. When the agents left, Martinez turned to Eleanor. Ethan wasn't entirely wrong. Your husband's firm was connected to organized crime. But here's the truth. Richard wasn't laundering money for them, he was working for us. Eleanor froze. What? He was an undercover asset for the FBI for over a decade. The accounts you found were part of a sting operation. The money he left you is clean, cleared by the Justice Department. He helped us take down the Torino syndicate before he died. Tears welled in Eleanor's eyes. He protected me even after death. Sunlight streamed through the freshly painted Maplewood house. Eleanor poured coffee for Dr. Laura Chen, her new advisor. The foundation is thriving, Laura said. You've already helped hundreds of seniors fight financial abuse. Netflix confirmed the documentary deal too, The Mother's Justice. Eleanor smiled faintly. Justice has a way of finding its light. Laura hesitated. Caroline wrote again. She's asking for forgiveness. Eleanor looked out the window. Forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. She'll understand that someday. In the study-turned-art studio, a self-portrait rested on the easel, a woman standing in sunlight, calm and unbroken. Eleanor smiled at her painted reflection. The best revenge, she whispered, is becoming everything they never believed you could be. Outside, her garden bloomed free, wild, and alive. Eleanor Whitman, widow, survivor, mother, and millionaire, finally had peace.